Welcome to Three Thoughts On. Thank you, everybody that's online. Thank you, everybody that is here. Today, we have Mike and Ralph from Upgrade Labs. Mike, Ralph, how are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for making the time. I'm very excited about the fact that I have you two here, as my guests in my podcast, but also excited about your company and the fact that you're new here to Lake Nona. So first of all, welcome to Lake Nona. We're very happy to have you here. So what I'd like to do is give you the opportunity to introduce yourselves, give us a little bit of background about your story and how you ended up doing what you're doing today.
Awesome. My name is Mike. I started the health and wellness journey about 6 years ago. And what brought me into this is trying to help others, and especially my mom, since she got diagnosed with cancer. So I tried to not have her do any chemo or radiation, try to lean more towards the holistic ways, and the journey start, and she's doing a lot better than what chemo and all that radiation will happen, so it was a blessing for us to be in that and get more awake and do more research and reading and figure everything out. And at that time, I was also working in the hospitality business, so I was also focusing more on the food and the workouts and everything like that, so maintain the lifestyle with a lot of hours of work, of course. But and me and Ralph, we've been friends for a while, so Ralph told me that he's looking into getting into Upgrade Labs, so I was directly on board with him. So we started the journey at that time.
How about you, Ralph? Tell us a little bit about you. How did you end up finding out about Upgrade Labs?
Well, I have to rewind a little bit here. So in my past life, I was a software executive, successful, doing well. About 2008, I started having some real serious health concerns, which only deteriorated to the point that about 10 years ago, I couldn't work anymore. I couldn't move sometimes, mental fog, severe enough that I just retired. I just quit the world. I left civilization 10 years ago.
Wow.
And because I had nothing but time, I decided to study. I had a lot of doctors helping me, good doctors trying to help me, to no avail. I did all kinds of testing. I wasn't getting any better. As a matter of fact, I was getting really bad. So I studied, 100 hours a week. I started experimenting. I started learning about functional medicine. Started hearing about people like Dave Asprey, amongst many others, Cougarman and Peter Attia, and all the usual crowd of people. Most importantly, experimenting, taking risks, stacking, and I got better all of a sudden. And then once I got better, I wanted to optimize. Once I started to optimize, I had way too much energy to be retired on a remote beach. So I said, okay, I want to open an Upgrade Labs because now this is not a job, this is a calling. The next question was where? And Lake Nona just became a magnet because of the intention, the philosophy behind what Lake Nona stands for. So, long story short, here we are. We opened 3 weeks ago. Super excited.
Oh, that's a great story. So both of you inspired, you by your mom, you by your own, your own health issues. For Mike, for those people in the audience and people here who don't recognize the name Upgrade Labs, can you give us a little bit of background on who, what is Upgrade Labs? I know who they are, but
Absolutely, yes. Upgrade Labs is a state-of-art facility. It's a biohacking facility that we focus on longevity, treat chronic inflammation, and help to the cellular level. So we focus on the cellular health for one fact because cells are mainly everything in your body. Either they put you down or bring you up. So once we be able to recharge those cells, be able to have them energized and ready to go, we can achieve so much. It just start there, and we can focus on recovery, focus on optimizing performance, and on strength training and cognitive health. So that's what we focus on.
And you guys are here now, but Upgrade Labs actually has a franchise model now, right? So there's, I think this is the seventh, eighth, or ninth location.
Application.
10th location, okay, across the country and growing, right? And it was founded by Dave Asprey. I've been following Dave for quite some time. His story is quite compelling. He also had, battles with his own health.
For sure.
And I remember, I'm actually glad to see how much he's been able to help people, because in the beginning there was a lot of skepticism about what he was doing, but he just persevered and continued to look for alternative options, work with the medical group, but also look for alternative options to try to help people feel better and optimize their health. And now we have this location, specifically here in Lake Nona, which I'm very eager to go see. Tell us a little bit about what can someone expect when they walk into an upgrades lab. What kind of equipment do you have there? What kind of things do people experience as they go into your facilities?
Yeah, so first thing first, we want to introduce all the modalities to everyone, give them a little tour. We have a recovery side, we have a performance side. On a recovery side, we focus on, one of the things is lymphatic drainage and detoxification of the body. The other part will be down to something called PMF. It's a pulse electromagnetic field that can help charge the cells and help down to the bone. Like with anybody with severe pain in the bone or back pain, past injury, we can help them recover faster on that end, because we're charging the cells to go to and fight the inflammation, lower the inflammation down and heal. PMF actually helps the natural body healing mechanisms. And the third tool will be metabolic training. Metabolic training is an oxygen training for the body. We stress the body with low oxygen level to be more adaptive. It's like doing an altitude training, going up in a mountain, going down. And all that that I mentioned is more like just you're sitting back, relaxing, and let the technology do it for you. You're not doing any effort, you're not putting anything out. It just is going to help you and optimize your performance, your endurance, your recovery. Inflammation is going to go down. One of my favorite technically is the cryo that we have. We have an enclosed cryo chamber with starts at negative 140 degrees and goes down to negative 175 degree. 2 minutes to 3.5 minutes. That's it. Very fast, very efficient. It's similar to cold plunges, but instead of being in the water and at 38 to 40 degrees and wait for like 8 to 10 minutes to drop your body temperature by 20 degrees, you can do it in 2 minutes in a cryo. So it's more efficient, and you don't have to get wet. You don't have to do all that. You can just go in and go out in 2 minutes and do the same result. One of the jewels of Upgrade Labs will be the red charger. It's a red light therapy and frequency therapy that can help recharge the cells, can help with a lot of chronic disease and inflammation. It have a frequency that can penetrate through the body to target certain areas: inflammation, skeletal muscles, brain, female vitality, male vitality, lungs, kidney, bladder, anything related to organ also can help with that. And we have a protocol that we set up on doing something called cell health analysis. Once we see your cell health analysis and your body composition and putting that into your goals, we can build a protocol for you to see which modality you should be using the most, or how many times you have to come in. And especially like two things that we actually tend to lose as we getting older: oxygen and muscles. So we do have the oxygen, the metabolic training that can help you with oxygen level, and we do have the performance side. Performance side is very efficient, is a 20-minute workout that can give you strength training, that can give you a lot benefit, because I have a lot of different features that can help you with the strength, help you build muscles. Something against gravity in a sense, because what it does is something called eccentric overload. Is going to put the maximum, is going to give you the maximum amount of load that your body can handle with the AI technology that we have, is gonna see your performance, see your mobility, flexibility, and strength assessment that you do with the machine, and then it's gonna load you with the maximum amount of weight for the shortest amount of time. And with the eccentric overload, it's gonna put more weight on the negative automatically, and help your muscle just being more involved in the training as well, because you don't find this at the gym where people go and do eccentric overload. It's not available, but the AI made it available for everybody. And the AI, every time you're gonna log into your profile, is gonna give you the best workout for your body.
So let's dive in a little bit into each one of these technologies. I am familiar with cold plunges. Like my friend Terry is here. I used to go to his house and use his tub. You know, you gotta fill it up with water and ice and then jump in, right? And I have been very curious about the dynamics of the body doing it in a cold plunge versus doing it in a cryo machine, right? You know, are there any significant differences, or is the expectation and the result pretty much the same?
The results are the same, I would say, faster, and like for me, cold plunge was very hard to do. Like, I have to force my body into the cold water. I mean, it wasn't comfortable for me, to be honest with you. The cryo, I felt it so much easier. It was easy. Anybody can do it. You're just walking in, walking out for 2 minutes, and give you the same results and the same benefits. You know, with lowering inflammation level, help you shred some visceral fat, which is the fat around the organs, help produce endorphins in the body that can help you go out and still have full energy afterwards. We do it before training, for example, so you have a full endorphin flow in your body that can put you into work and do the right workout.
And you only need to do it for about 2 to 3 minutes, right?
Yes.
That's because the cold plunge, I remember getting, the more I did it, the longer I could stay in the water. I got to about 6 minutes, right? And then I had to get out. But I didn't start at 6 minutes. It started maybe at 50 seconds, and then you're gonna work your way up.
Yep.
Your body starts adapting to that
sure.
shock. But with the cryo machine, you never go up, in time, right? Or am I, correct me if I'm wrong there? I mean, do you have to change the protocol at all?
I just wanted to add a little bit to that. One of the things about cryo, first, this is electric cryo, which is whole body, versus a nitrogen when your head needs to be out. One of the biggest areas impacted by the extreme cold is actually the back of your neck. That triggers a cascading effect through the body. So you can't get that with nitrogen, and unless you're well submerged at 36 degrees or below water, you're not going to get quite the impact. When it comes to electric cryo, you can do it anywhere from 2 minutes to up to 4 minutes, rather 3.5. But we can also manipulate the temperature and the wind that hits you. So the experience can be vastly different from beginner to advanced. And it's quite something, but it's very doable. You get in there, 3-4 minutes, you're done, you're still dry, and you move on.
That is great. That is great. Let's jump into the light therapy. Is the experience more like a Juve-like machine where you're standing in front of a wall, or is it more like a Thor lay-down bed, or is it something completely different?
It is a bed.
It is a
It is a bed. Yes, it's a bed that closes
It
up
has a
and down.
clamp,
Yes,
kind of,
yeah.
and then
360 degrees, the light is on you. Yep.
and then you're there for 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
Different protocols, different sessions have different timing, but 15 to 21 minutes, that's the minimum and maximum.
Okay. What other products do you have in there? Actually, what I'm interested in too is what does a particular circuit look like for, let's say I wanted to come over and join your program?
So, Rafael, Mike explained a lot of the modalities that we do, but maybe we should rewind a little bit and talk about the philosophy of why Upgrade Labs
Absolutely,
exists to begin
please.
with.
Please go ahead.
So, again, this is Dave Asprey's brainchild, and he doesn't do anything halfway. And our goal here, functional longevity and resilient bodies, resilient people. at any age, whether you're a young athlete that needs to recover faster to train harder and win more, or you are somebody that's coming to term like, wow, at 35 or 40 years old, I'm not as bright as I used to be, whatever the case may be. That all begins with relaxed biology. If your biology is stressed and treading water just to survive, fight or flight, you're not going to be thriving. That's just a fact. But at Brick Labs, we focus on 4 areas. First area is recovery. Recovery means, in a nutshell, battling or taming down chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation, it's the root of many, many diseases and bad things that happen to people. So the recovery area, which includes lymphatic drainage to detox, which includes pulse electromagnetic fields to restore your voltage at a cellular level and get rid of pain and things like that, includes hypoxic training to, again, make your cells better, your body better at utilizing oxygen, cryotherapy. Those are all modalities that fall under the recovery aspect. So that's one of 4, recovery. The second one is muscle. Not so much for looks, but the first thing that we do for any member is we do a cell health analysis, where we look at your body composition, your cellular health, etc. But you can't have a good life if you don't have sufficient muscle mass to support your body and do the activities that you want to do. Today, in 10 years, or what's referred to as the marginal decade, which is the last 10 years of your life, however you envision that. What would you like to be like then? So we are able to tell whether you have enough muscle today or not, and what the trends are once we repeat this test. So that's the second one, strength. So resistance training, and we do that in a very condensed way. Like Mike said, we use very high-end machines with AI that get to know you and will load your body to create the maximum adaptation in the minimal amount of time. So that's the second one, resistance, muscles, which includes bones, by the way, bone health, because resistance helps it. The third one is cardio. And cardio, not to train you to do one of the fantastic Spartan races, but cardio so that you have a healthy VO2 max. VO2 max being a well-accepted measure of cardiovascular health. And we have modalities that in as little as 16 minutes twice a week, meaning in sessions of 8 minutes and 40 seconds twice a week, we can improve your VO2 max. And that's what you need to be healthy. That's the third one. And the fourth one is mental. It's getting your brain into waves that are not high up, into more relaxed wave states where you're not, again, in fight or flight, you're more in rest and digest. You can focus on being creative on your life. You are responding, you're not reacting to what's going on around you. So those are the 4 things that we focus on, that we thrive on. Every piece of equipment in our facility contributes to one of those 4 things. So with that, then you can explain the actual devices better in that context.
No, thank you for that background, because that actually helps understand the flow for a given individual based on their needs. Right? One of the things that I am very personally excited about the current state of technology in medicine and prevention and longevity is the fact that we're learning more and more that, and not just learning, we're coming up with more and more evidence that individuals do better when they have personalized protocols as opposed to one-size-fits-all type of protocols. And the ability to use technology not only to give you a particular type of workout, but to be able to monitor it and then adjust it based on your gains or lack thereof, I think it's where we all are going, and rightfully so, because that seems, at least for me, I know that what works for me doesn't work for other people.
Sure.
So it sounds like, based on those four pillars that you you have as the foundation for your program, a person can come in and have something that is personalized, and measurable, so that they can see. Because I think that's part of the problem too.
For
We
sure.
as humans, we want to see progress, and to see progress, we have to measure it and show the individual, look, this is where you were when we started, and look at where you are now. Am I?
100%. Yes, 100%.
And I need to just interject. I love that recent podcast that you did with Dr. Vanda. Fantastic. And
Thank you.
and I love that lady. She was saying everything. I'm like, wow. She's very eloquent, and her messaging is totally on point with what we do and all that. And I say this because you start saying, what is a typical circuit? There is no typical circuit. We measure, we see what's right for you at the time, and then we measure again. And it may be the same, or what's moving the needle, or what's not moving the needle, and we keep adjusting to whatever works for the individual.
No, that's excellent. That's excellent. So, when you started, you said that there was basically two types. When it comes now to the equipment itself, there was equipment, for recovery, and there was equipment for performance. Have you covered all the equipment? Is there any other one you want to talk about?
There was one more left, which is the cardio that we do. Ralph mentioned a little bit about it, and it's an AI bike with an 8-minute and 40-second session that can improve your VO2 max and can help you optimize your cardiovascular health in general. And as he said, it's something crucial to be looking at, that it's about the VO2 max and where we stand right now, because as I mentioned at the beginning, there's two things mainly that we lose as we grow older, is oxygen and muscles. So in order for us to maintain it, we have that bike with 8-minute sessions. So it's in and out, very simple, very easy, but very effective.
Excellent. Dave Asprey has done a great job at bringing awareness to the world of biohacking and the world of observing yourself. So he's always trying new things. I had it was not even 15-second conversation with him when he was here for the Impact Forum a few months ago. And you can tell just by talking to him, he's always just looking for the next thing. He's always looking for the next piece of equipment or technology or protocol that is going to help him improve or optimize his well-being. Is Upgrade Labs functioning the same way? In other words, in 2-3 years, can I expect to see additional equipment added to the circuit? Is that the model of the company?
So I can answer that. So Dave is really consistent, and what I love about him is that he's only swayed by facts. He's not swayed by anything but what works, and he likes to try most of things himself, but he definitely has testing processes. So yeah, today the equipment that we have is the best in its class. But who knows what's invented tomorrow, what gets released tomorrow. So we're always going to be evolving. Today the equipment that we have in our facility is state-of-the-art. State-of-the-art is a moving target. So we are going to be providing whatever it's right in the context as well of time, because there are certain modalities which are great, but we can't take, for example, HBOT, hyperbaric, fantastic technology, love it, but it doesn't belong in our environment because of time and the model that we do, right? So, but yes, to your answer, we will continue searching what fits the busy people that come to our facility.
No, I am actually glad that you brought that up. I'm very familiar with hyperbarics. I have my own. Well, I had my own chamber at one point in time. There was a friend of mine who needed to use it. If you're watching, Phil, how you doing? And I had a protocol that I did every day where I would get in my chamber for an hour, I will wake every day. I will wake up 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, and then stumble into the chamber, which was close to my bed.
Soft shell?
Soft shell, yes. At 1.3 ATA.
1.3.
And typically we'll start meditating, end up falling asleep. I had a timer, wake up, and then get out of there and go into my infrared sauna. I have a one-person infrared sauna. I still have it. And I felt like invincible every day, right? But you're right. It is a tool that, although proven and useful, it doesn't always fit with a flow that you may want to do if you only have half an hour or if you only have 45 minutes. Sure. Because it actually takes, a chunk of time, and also, floor space for that matter as well, right?
Yeah, but there's also the frequency. For HBOT to be successful, most protocols have it daily or nearly daily to be effective. So.
Exactly. Nearly, daily, 30 minutes, 30 to 60 minutes, and so forth. So let me ask you, so you guys, again, welcome to the community. We're excited to have you here. I was excited when you finally got to open and that you agreed to come to the podcast and share your experiences with people. What do you tell the people who have never heard of this type of facility or protocols? People are familiar with gyms. They're familiar with, hot sauna locales where you can go and do exercise in the heat. They're familiar with yoga studios. But this is technologically intense, right? This is, for a lot of people, this is still new. How do you talk to them in order for them to be open to allowing technology? Because you mentioned something a minute ago. It's like, you get into a place and you let the technology do the work and help you improve, right? What do you tell those people that are still kind of trying to figure out if this is for them?
I would say that the trick is not so much telling, it's listening. If they walk through our door or they called us to make an appointment, the first thing that we do is we do a tour. And those tours, they can take an hour. And a main component of that tour, which are free, is what the cell health analysis, where we measure your body. We sit with you, and black and white is a report on what's going on with you. But more important than that, what do you feel that you need to improve? Is it sleep? Is it energy? Is it chronic pain? Whatever it is, we listen to them. And if we feel we can help them, then we point them to the right thing. There's no hard selling because there's no need for it. I mean, this is a genuine communication, and most people are there for a reason. Mike, you probably want to expand on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the experience that we've had so far, many people walking through the door just wondering what you guys do. That's the first question. Even they're walking around, or they saw our ad, or they heard about us from friends or family. And this is where we start. We have a little application that they have to fill out. With this application, it's going to ask them some questions, and I'm going to see what their goals are. And from there, we take them into a tour. We explain everything with them. We take our time. We ask the right questions. We get to know that person and what they're struggling with, what they're looking for to change. And say, for example, if somebody wants, I tried everything and I'm not losing weight. Okay. We can look more deep into the cell health analysis, see what's stopping you from losing that weight. And most people, they might have unhealthy cells, I would say, or high visceral fat or high inflammation that's just not getting to their goal. No matter what they try, what they do is just something blocking that body. So that's where we come in, and we focus on reducing those and eliminate them so they can achieve their goals, whatever they're doing. We're not taking anything away from their lifestyle or their routine, going to the gym, yoga, and everything. All that is great. We encourage them to do so and continue doing so. But in order for you to see benefits, you have to work more internally about a lot of different segments in the body and a lot of different details when it comes to the cell and visceral fat, that we can help you achieve all your goals. We can help you optimize your performance. We have athletes that came in. We have tennis players, golf players, WWE superstars, soccer players, all of them. And all what they're looking for, what can I do to do better at the field? What can I do to help me? I had a knee injury and stuff like that, like swelling or inflammation. And I believe that with the technology that we have, we're the right place that can help them recover faster and optimize their performance right away.
So, and I know this is a hard question, but because I'm old enough to remember that there was a time when there was a 22-day rule that if you did anything for 22 days, that you would see results, right? And then that number became 60 days, right? And then somebody was talking about 30 days. So depending on who you talk to, right? There's always some sort of rule of thumb that if you do something, whether it's start working out or start doing yoga or start playing the guitar, right? That there's a timeline where you may start seeing some results out of that. I know everybody's different. I know everybody responds differently, but is there like a min and a max, where people start feeling a little bit different, like they feel the results of the technology?
Yeah, so like you said, there's no hard rule because everybody's different, right? Some people can't get immediate relief or energy from visit one. From one cryo and one PMF, they go, wow, that's tangible. But, and speaking to other franchise owners in this business, they like to sell 3-month memberships. Not so much because you're committed in that. They like to sell 3 months because if you can get to this for 3 months, for 90 days, you will actually tangibly be better. You will feel it, but also your measurements, once we redo your things and show you a graph, will have improved the body composition, etc. So 90 days seems to be about the sweet spot for that. But again, everybody's unique, and from day one, people can start. I mean, right now, we have people saying, I'm sleeping better, or I have more energy, and all that, and we've only been open 3 weeks. So.
So definitely some people are seeing and experiencing results, very, 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 very short amount of time.
I'll add to that our cell health analysis, which is our primary test, we encourage members to do it every 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks. And again, it charts it out so that people can, in fact, see tangibly what's happening. Hey, I may weigh the same. I may even weigh a bit more, but I have a bit more muscle. My body fat percentage went down. Things that go, oh, okay.
So let me ask you, is for the people that come in looking for attaining a particular goal, you mentioned they're professional athletes, right? Professional athletes are, they have a particular goal in mind, a particular target, right? Is the idea that you can help them get to that target through a protocol and then move into more of a maintenance protocol? Is the concept of a maintenance protocol a thing that you embrace, or you basically just keep working with the individual based on, whatever it is that they're asking you at the moment?
So, for example, that big football athlete that we just got a couple of days ago, this guy, incredibly fit, one of the fittest persons that I've seen, actually. That one came in, but he's going to be very focused on recovery. He already eats like a champ, he trains like a champ, he plays every day, very strict. So his interest in us is, I just want to go and recover so that I can train more, hurt less, and play better. So those are specific use cases. Another tennis player is like, hey, I just want to improve overall, so he's doing strength with us as well. Again, each individual, there's a fit to the lifestyle. And maintenance, you always want to do better. Whether you're good enough, I don't know.
Always want to optimize, yeah, for sure.
No, that's and
You know,
that
even
is,
superstars and big athletes, they're not want to stay at their level, even though they're well known and they're doing amazing. They still want to optimize their performance, get the right recovery needed. So they're always looking for improvements.
No, that's great. No, I appreciate the feedback on that. The reason why I ask is because I, at one point in my career, I was doing advice for doctors, doctors who were looking to expand their practices with modalities that would help complement their particular practice. And light therapy, hyperbarics, and sauna therapy were three big things that, they're well known, they're proven, and they're fairly easy to understand. And one of the things that was difficult in the market at the time was to keep people from staying in the programs once they reached a particular goal. So they walked in and they knew they needed help, right? So a protocol was built, the doctors will work together with them, they built a protocol for the person follows the protocol, they feel a particular way, and then now they feel like, oh, I don't need to go back anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So that was a challenge there. Do you see a similar challenge?
No, well, I can see where you're coming from, like on something like HBOT. HBOT therapy, maybe I had an injury or whatever, but HBOT, okay, you're going to do this protocol here for 10 days. You're going to take this time off, repeat it 3 times, and then boom, you're done because you went in for a specific condition. We don't treat conditions.
That's a good point.
We're not here to cure anything. We're here to help you be more resilient at a cellular level. It's very basic. From there, you're going to sort yourself out, right? And is there a point where you don't want to do that anymore? I don't know. Maybe you.
If you take the path of the health and wellness, you always want to stay on the path. You always want to do that. If you stop, then things is going to stop with you, So, and I tell everyone, it doesn't matter how old you are or what day you start, as long that you take the initiative and you take that step and you start, then you're going to achieve great results, no matter what it is. So.
Rafael, I did want to add to that, because we are aware that people have different needs depending on other factors, right? So what we do, for example, our memberships, they can be very focused to, okay, you're already covering your training here, you're already doing that here, so come here and only do 10 services a month that will help you with very specific items. Versus, no, you want to come to us more for a full experience, including your training, then it's a different type of membership. So it's a very broad audience. Some people come in with a mission, very specific. Some others just want the full menu, so to speak.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. Thank you for that. Yeah, that is, I have seen that change. I mean, that was the example that I gave you. That was about 10 years ago, and I see, and maybe you see this as well. I see society walking more into the direction of, I need to have a process, and I need to add things into that process that help me feel better every day, and they become part of my daily life. It's not something that I'm going to do to get to a certain point, and then I don't need to do it anymore, right? So at least I hope that society is embracing that concept a little bit more, which then talks about your point of saying, well, once you feel a certain way and you have specific tools and processes you use, then you're just going to keep doing it.
I'll give you the perfect analogy here. It's not a diet, it's a way of eating. It's a healthy way of eating. So I'm not going to eat good this month and then go back to eat McDonald's. I'm just going to change my way of eating, period.
Yep. I was
it's what they say, right? An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
That's a lot of carbs.
Right, I know. But if it's just one apple, no, but it's very different, an apple a day, than do whatever and then eat 7 apples on Sunday, right? You don't get the same effect, right? So it's about that consistency.
And this is something that our clientele or our members are looking for, because they're looking for a change. They're looking to start somewhere. So we're here to help them out, but they know for a fact that they're not gonna leave there. It doesn't matter what you do in that hour or that 30 minutes, or it's just what you do with the next 23 hours that's more beneficial. So if somebody is not committed and not willing to change, nobody's gonna help them. None of the stuff that we use or any type of technology can be able to help, but they have to help themselves and be able to be more aware of what's around, what they eat, what they put in their body, how they train, everything like that. So
Do you challenge your clients? Like, because that's a very good point. It's like, they come in, they go through the process, they start, feeling, or you can start seeing results, measurable results. But when they come in the next time, if they didn't do, like you said, they didn't do, or what they did not do over the other 23 hours, right, over the past 3-4 days. Do you feel like it's important to challenge the customer?
Yeah, but, and this is something that I love about this, having these interactions. We're very close with our customers because the fact that we sit next to them and go over there is a very candid conversation. And yeah, you can do so much in our center, but your diet habits, your sleep quality, quantity, and consistency, for example, all those are tremendous pillars. And I'm happy to have very deep conversations all the time. And what I tell people a lot is like, hey, if you're a family member, I would be strongly, so I get to use, I can get a little bit harsh sometimes if needed to impinge on that within the constraints of society, yeah. But when people see in black and white certain factors and they open up to you, they're willing to listen. And that is such a big one, and that's such a great feeling when, even if they decide to make a lifestyle change to improve that, whether they do it with us or just on their own, it's still a win, right? So it's part of why we opened this center. It's part of what Mike and I love about this quote-unquote job. It doesn't feel like a job.
That's great. Well, as I told you in the beginning, you blink and the time just flies by. I'd like to give you an opportunity. This podcast is always about 3 thoughts, 3 points of inspiration, 3 points. I love to challenge my audience. I try to challenge myself every day, so I believe, we as a society need to be challenged a little bit more. I'm very much in line with Joe DeSena's, the hard way of we have to do hard things, right? We have to challenge ourselves. So whether you want to inspire, you want to challenge, or you want to educate, you leave the audience with 3 thoughts on any one of those areas, so that and then where can they find you? I'll start with you, Mike.
So I would say one of the major things is consistency. This is something that someone always have to stay on top of themselves, on top of their health. We focus on more external stuff, but we don't look deeper in a sense where everything starts from within before we try to do anything from the outside. When it comes to anything, personality, behavior, mental health, or anything like that, it's within us. We're the one that are in control, that we can change what's around us, and this is what biohacking is. I would say, so 3 thoughts you mentioned.
Yes, 3 thoughts. So consistency is one, right? So that's, and I agree with you, because I personally fall off the wagon, regularly, but it's the consistency of getting back in the wagon to actually doing the work, right?
True.
Anything you want to leave the audience with?
And as long as you start the day, it matters a lot. So the moment you take a step, it's going to change for you. It's just not sitting back, and definitely not having any excuses or anything to hold you back from what you really want to achieve. So put your mind to it and just take the step forward and go achieve it.
Anything you want to leave the audience with?
Yeah, I mean, you cover consistency. You go back to the analogy of when you get on a flight, the pilot says, if we drop the mask, you put your son first before you help your children or the others. You need to, whether you use the term self-love or whatever you like to use, you need to respect yourself, keep yourself healthy. You'll be a better person for yourself, for your family, for your community. You can't help others if you yourself are not healthy. So respect that aspect of it. It's really that simple.
Oh, I love that. I appreciate that. I had a conversation once with someone who told me it's the best gift you can give your loved ones is to live. and to live well,
Yeah.
right? And to stay in a state of ease. I like what you said in the beginning is to bring the body to a state of ease instead of a state of disease, right? Which is where we're all trying to avoid. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being here in the Lake Nona community. We're very excited to have you. Please hang out. We have people over here that are going to want to talk to you and get to know you a little bit more. And I look forward to coming and visiting you. And
Please
and
do.
visiting
Yeah,
the
would love to
facilities.
have you. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you very much. And thank you, everybody that joined in. Thank you, all of you that are always here supporting me in this podcast. Thank you to Juan Santos for always making the space available. We'll see you soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you.